Hey guys, welcome to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast, where we like to talk to other working men about sports. And if you aren't a man, who cares? Welcome to the show. You're here with Charles, the sixth man. I'm here with my co-host, John, the analyst, Johnny D. And we're going to talk about some really cool things that happened this weekend with football in the playoffs, which was pretty sweet, I think, actually, with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, moving on to the next round. I knew they were going to beat the Eagles. We got Buffalo Bills and Chiefs matchup coming up. We have the Ravens Texans.
But before we jump the horn, before we jump the gun,
all right,
to this week's game, I want to talk about a little bit of last week's. CJ Stroud, okay?
The truth.
Anyone that doubted him, get out. You're done. He is the youngest QB to ever win a playoff game.
And he just didn't win it. He dominated.
Oh, he did. I mean, what did he have?
I'll pull it up here, man. I'll pull it up if you want. I can get it right here. But unless you already have it. If you have it, go for it.
I might already have it here. Boom. He was 16 for 21, 274 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He tied the rookie record for touchdowns in the playoffs.
The truth.
One more, and was he the first rookie to win in the playoffs?
No, he was the youngest.
Okay, youngest player.
The youngest one.
Man, he was the truth. They busted up the Browns.
And I'm just saying, they might beat the Ravens.
I think it's possible. That game right there it's going to be crazy because you have two high-powered offenses. And the defenses aren't too shabby either.
Just think about it. In the beginning of the season, no one gave Houston the chance to even make the playoffs.
I don't know if you gave them a chance to make the playoffs, but you did say that CJ Stroud was going to be good, and he was this first preseason game was all right, just getting acclimated with the NFL. Of
course, it's one of the type of things like you have to see what they're going to do. Now, a little bit off topic, another rookie quarterback would I think might just be done. It just didn't look so good from this year, and that's Bryce Young.
I don't know how you can play. I don't know how you can play for an organization that trades away their best wide receiver for a best quarterback. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, give me the car, but take the engine out.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
But CJ Stroud has a really good coach in DeMeco Ryan.
Yeah.
Who's really good. Who's working with him. And they're just blowing up. I took Cleveland. I took Cleveland that game.
Oh, I didn't. I was like Texans. They have a nice and good young wide receiver core with a couple of veteran wide receivers in there that can, help them stay grounded. They have 2 good solid running backs, and they have a solid offensive line. And their defense all the way around is just sound. Like it's a wall.
So picked off Joe Flacco twice. Pick sixes, I believe both, weren't they?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think they were both pick sixes.
I want to say so. I remember I was watching. I might have it up right here.
Before that game, when they were going to the playoffs, I was like, it's been great seeing Joe Flacco do his thing. But I was talking to someone. I said, he's going to break eventually at this age. Like, we've seen it with Tom Brady. God, and I'm a Tampa Bay fan. That sucked when that happened. But it's going to happen eventually. And can you say he broke? Maybe. I don't know. But some of the passes that he threw were questionable, or is just the defense that good?
Hey, for a guy
that age,
off his couch, for a guy that just came out, how he said
he was not off his couch. He was training.
No, you know what his training was? He came out and said, my training, I was just passing the ball with my brother in my backyard.
Okay. I mean, that's impressive. Plus, he did have to learn a new playbook, but it's some of the stuff is the same, but the language is different. He's smart enough to know the plays and stuff, but maybe they just got out flat, right? Just played. They got outplayed completely. I mean, they didn't have a chance.
And just to say, it was 2 picks and it was back-to-back.
It was back-to-back. I seen it.
Wow.
What's going on? Are you celebrating that pick six back?
I must have, Woo, pick six.
Now,
nope, we can't.
Now, I'm going to talk about Tampa real quick. And it seems like I see you wearing your New York gear over there, but it looks like you're hanging out in Tampa, enjoying not just the weather, but enjoying the victory, to be on the winning team. And to see Baker Mayfield come out and put it all on the line and take down the Eagles, which, people can say, well, the Eagles weren't that good in the first place. The Eagles, you know what? For the way they played, and they start losing, that's on them. The Buccaneers can't help that. Is who it was in front of them, and they wiped them out.
You know, the way how the Eagles were winning was the same way how they lost. And that is on defense, they can't stop the run. They can't stop the run last year.
They weren't even running the ball themselves. They stopped running the ball offensively.
They did stop running the ball offensively. So guess what? You throw it all on Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts, he must be injured. I don't know. He didn't look like himself. Usually, you see him take off running more, but he didn't. And it was
the score should have been even worse. But drop balls. Mike Evans, you got to catch that touchdown pass. Cade Otton, you got to catch that touchdown pass. You got to catch those to win the game.
Oh yeah,
and thank God they didn't start clicking the Eagles, because that could have been bad. But
I mean, Devontae Smith had 8 receptions for 148 yards. Yep. I mean, when you only have really one guy that made big plays, I mean, Hurts only threw for 250.
Yeah.
So it's like
Baker Mayfield, I think, went over 300.
337 and 3 touchdowns.
And I put a bet on that and won that bet, that I knew he was going to do that. I'm telling you, right now, I'm guilty. When the season started and the team wasn't gelling that well, I was not on the Baker Mayfield hype train. I'm like, why do we have this guy?
Nobody was. I mean, because you see the same story with this guy over and over. I don't know, maybe he turned a new leaf, but you see the same story with this guy, I feel like, over and over. Where he has a great game. I'm just saying, just watch out. He might have a
bad game.
A Joe Flacco type.
I mean, well, here's the thing. You can chalk it up. And that's what I was saying. Maybe with Joe Flacco, maybe he's not broke. But you can chop up to good defenses, just preparing for good quarterbacks, and the defense has a better day. But I will say, my whole thing wasn't just because Baker Mayfield's inconsistency, but it was more so as like, this guy a couple years ago took the Cleveland Browns to the AFC Championship and almost beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. And then the disrespect to take that man out and bring in Deshaun Watson, who hasn't done squat for them. And then he goes to Carolina. He ends up playing on the defensive scouting team because he said he would do anything to help his team win. Then he gets picked up by the Rams, throws a game-winning touchdown on the fly. He was an emergency quarterback.
He was. He just got picked up that week, and they were like, okay, you're in.
So then he comes out, and he headbutts the guy. I think he did it without his helmet. After he got the touchdown, this guy doesn't care anymore. So then him joining the squad now at Tampa was like, what are we getting? Because, this guy's been through it all. But now I feel like I think he figured out the game. He just doesn't care anymore. It is what it is. He sees it what it is. He doesn't see all the little the rules that people are scared to do things and try things. But he's like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go. That's a blessing and a curse, because you can force things that shouldn't happen, and then Joe Flacco situations could happen. And Detroit has a good defense, so it's going to be a tough game.
I think what has happened from him, from growing from the Browns to now, he has 2 different sets of wide receiver cores. When he was with the Browns, he had Jarvis Landry and OBJ. OBJ was in this man's face 24/7 every time he was thinking of the ball.
I mean, could you imagine trying to play quarterback and someone's in your ear 24/7? You're like, dude, I got to focus on the defenses, and I got you screaming at me. But they went to the AFC Championship.
They did. But I'm saying, and then now he has Mike Evans and Godwin, which is the only person which I think they're a better duo than what he had in Cleveland.
Oh, don't forget about his bailout man, Rachaad White. You got him always on the under. Cade Otton too.
But man, I think the 2 wide receivers that he has now, they're not in his ear. They're not just yapping at him nonstop, saying, "Hey, give me the ball. Give me the ball. I need the ball. I need the ball. Let me have the ball."
They're not being divas.
They're letting him play and figure it out.
Yep. They're not being divas about the whole thing. That's enough Tampa talk, because, I just know that it's going to be a tough game coming up, and I hope that we win. That's going to be tough. I did have us getting in there, but I did not have Detroit going. I had the Rams winning. So we'll see what happens. What about that Packer 49er game? What do you think?
I mean, before we get Packers and Cowboys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is that gaming we're talking about? Is that gaming we're talking about? Because
it is. The Cowboys
Cowboys didn't show up.
What happened to them?
They didn't even show up. It was a home game, and they didn't even show up.
It was a home game, and they scored the most points in the fourth quarter when the Packers, excuse me, when the Packers had their backups in.
And did you see what's his name in the halftime show? Did you see what's his name going off in the halftime show? Who? Jimmy Johnson?
No, what did he say?
Oh man, he looked like he was going back to coach.
He probably should.
I'll play the clip I'll play the clip real quick. Here it is.
I don't need to have people pointing the fingers one thing or another. You get your rear end in there and you play the way you know how to play. We can win the game. We're going to open it up. We're going to go fast tempo. Defense, get after Jordan Love. You can't give him that much time. You do what you're supposed to do, we'll win this game.
All right. That's got Michael fired. He's got everybody fired up.
No, Mike, no.
Let me confront you. Me for a shoot right now.
You see what I'm talking about?
He
was going on. He was talking about you need to get your hands in there. You need to get some pressure on Jordan Love. And it's like, bro, I feel like he may have had more fire in him than Mike McCarthy.
But like everyone said, though, the Cowboys got out-coached on offense, defense, head coaching. They got outplayed all the way around. Dak even came out and said that that he sucked.
He did.
Yeah.
But you know what? How many times can you say that? It's every playoff game.
I suck. It's like, okay, at some point something has to give.
Yeah.
Something has to give. And the way how the Packers played and like managed to like game plan for them, I thought that was excellent. They disguised their man defense as a zone.
Yep.
And was getting pressure in his face at the same time.
Dude, he almost threw a third pick right before the half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sitting right there in the pocket, and he tossed it right in there. It was like, whoa.
Then when he did throw picks, it was like, I felt like he was throwing the ball in a pile of guys. It was like, what's going on here? What? Like, Dak, you're supposed to be better than that.
Well, I got to say I'm happy for Jordan Love, though. He's really coming into himself. Really figuring out where he belongs here in the Green Bay franchise. People were doubting him, the whole time, and it was like, you know what?
I mean, I was doubting him. I'm not gonna lie.
We all were.
I'm like, Jordan Love's not that guy.
But I wanted him to be. Huh? Even though I'm a Viking and a Tampa Bay fan, I did want Jordan Love though because I like the underdog. You know what I mean? And you want to see a guy succeed, whatever team he's on, just because I had the same attachment to Jaren Hall here in Minnesota. Like I wanted to see him succeed. I want Baker Mayfield to succeed. Just do the underdog story. So Jordan Love getting his game on. They're just whooping ass out there. It's going to be a good game when they come against the 49ers.
Oh yeah, I think one thing about that game, or one thing I love about the Packers defense or offense, I should say, there is no number one wide receiver.
Yeah, which makes it hard to defend.
It is. It makes it very hard because it's like, okay, who's going to get the ball? Who's going to be their main guy today? But Aaron Jones is always going to touch the ball out of the backfield. He's going to do his thing.
Always.
Like he put up 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing against the Cowboys. Like
heads up for people that play fantasy football next year. Aaron Jones should be your guy if he's still in Green Bay. Continue. I'm just saying that guy is a beast. He was on my team.
I'm sorry, too many injuries. But
he was on my team. He was killing it.
And did you take first?
Almost. I had to deal with Amari Cooper. I had to deal with Amari Cooper having a record-breaking game. Jeez. Anyway, keep going.
Anyways, that's one thing I love about their offense is like, Aaron Jones is going to touch the ball. But otherwise than Aaron Jones, you have no idea on the offensive side which wide receiver, which tight end, who's it going to be the main person that day. Like you can prepare for Romeo Dobbs, and it's only can be Watson. Or you prepare for Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and it can be Reed. It's like they have so many different weapons, and they're just gelling together so good that when
they're playing really good ball.
They are, and they're the youngest team in the NFL.
Are they younger than Houston?
Yeah.
Oh my
goodness.
They're
the youngest team in the NFL. So that's why everyone's like, how did the youngest team in the NFL go beat this 12-5 team who's supposed to be the team?
America's team.
America's team. Like, how do you go there and do that? It's like, and they had home.
I knew they were going to do it. I called that when I had that in my bracket.
Oh, I did too. I was like, because every time the Cowboys make it to the playoffs, they do one thing and one thing only, and it's this.
Yeah, I was telling somebody.
They choke every time.
I was telling somebody that they remind me of the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just when they make it, you get all excited, and then
you
boom,
know
boot it
what's
out.
gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. It's like, oh yeah, we
Gone.
made it to the playoffs. Oh crap, we made it to the playoffs. Then you might as well go on vacation already.
Yeah, I'll go on
We
vacation.
ain't gonna do anything.
This is done. I mean, we'll enjoy a little playoff party and some hors d'oeuvres and stuff, and then it's over.
Funny because I was also talking to someone and I said, I guarantee you the Vikings were in that game. They could beat the Cowboys because the Cowboys always choke harder than the Vikings in the playoffs.
No, I don't know about that. We never fared well against the Cowboys the last few years, and we just haven't.
I guarantee they would.
The Vikings have not.
Dak went through 5 interceptions against the Minnesota Vikings.
Our the defense was too banged up. That team was so depleted. And you know what? If he would have threw 5, Nick the Pick Mullins would have threw 8. So I mean, let's just be for real here. That name is coined by JS John Stoker. If you're listening, he came with Nick the Pick Mullins. So let's move on. What about that Buffalo Bill game and the Pittsburgh game? Some questionable calls there. Some questionable calls.
There was.
Especially
right there at the end when George Pickens was on that slant, and they definitely had that. They definitely were doing some pass interference on him. That right there, I felt so bad because I was actually rooting for the Steelers for that game. I didn't have them winning, but I was rooting for them. I was like, I was like, it would be nice to see them win, but the Bills are going to win that game, and I was just like really like hoping for just Mason Rudolph just to have like a breakout game to solidify himself as an NFL starting quarterback.
A household name with the Steelers.
Yeah, because I feel like Mason Rudolph has been like, he's been getting the short stick over there. Like, we'll keep you around, but we're not going to play you. We'll keep you around.
He was the hot hand to play versus Kenny Pickett, and I feel like he had a good game somewhat, but there was some questionable calls. But you still got to play through it and not leave it up to the refs. And unfortunately, that Buffalo overall is a better team.
Oh, yeah. Steelers are going to go and get a veteran quarterback in the free agency watch.
Kirk Cousins maybe goes there.
Now Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta with Bill.
Could, but they also Atlanta also interviewed Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh has been either the Chargers, he's been with Atlanta. Bill Belichick has been in Atlanta.
He even interviewed for the Vikings spot a couple of years ago. Yeah, that guy's staying in Michigan. Okay, let's just be real.
He's not staying in Michigan. He's
staying in Michigan.
Now let's go to the next here. This one's gonna be a quick blow by game, I guess. I mean, you could really dissect it if you really wanted to, but that Miami Chiefs game, I already knew that game was over before it started.
The Dolphins never won against a team that had a winning record this year.
Yep, and it was cold out.
It was cold, and I saw it. I was like, "Oh yeah, Chiefs has this in the bag." It's one of the type of things that the Dolphins never could show who they really were against a winning team. It was every time they won, everyone they beat had a losing record. It was always deep to Tyreek Hill. I mean, I had Tyreek Hill in fantasy. I loved it. It was just like insane. Dude was averaging like 40 points a game almost in fantasy.
Yeah, but everybody started teeing off on him though.
All the winning teams were teeing off on him.
They knew where he was at, and they were like, did you see when they threw that quick? It was a snap throw. Did Tyreek Hill? He's supposed to grab that and take off, and when the ball was midair, dude for the Chiefs already had lined up on him, like he was about to just pop him. And he was just sitting right in his pocket. As soon as he caught it, boom, just knocked that dude out. Just finished him.
No, and that's what they do. Like, that's what the Dolphins, they run their whole offense through Tyreek Hill. And it's like, that's cool, that's great, that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, if Tyreek Hill cannot get open, or if Tyreek Hill is not, for some other reason, having a bad day that day, who else do you have?
Waddle.
Why didn't they use him?
They were missing targets. He was overthrowing a lot of targets. He really was. I don't know if he can't play in the cold very well. I mean, it's hard, but Mahomes, he started off slow, but then they just start firing off on all cylinders.
Mahomes is different. Mahomes he's a go.
Dude, helmet cracked open.
Kermit the Frog jumped out. I'm playing around.
Yeah, I saw that meme of Kermit the Frog jumping on there. But yeah, that was fun to see that the Chiefs look like they're back, and I think they're going to beat the Buffalo Bills. Now let's just quickly go through the first game here. Who do you got between Buffalo and the Chiefs? I'm going Chiefs. Who you got?
I am going to go Buffalo at home.
Buffalo at home?
Yeah.
I'm going Chiefs. All right, let's go switch over to the NFC. Tampa, Detroit on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Detroit.
Tampa. Oh, all
I got
right.
Detroit.
I'm just saying, okay. As a fan, I'm saying Tampa. That's gonna be a tough game though, because these teams right now, they're almost both playing the same.
Let's just say if Jared Goff, if you guys don't get pressure on him,
It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long
We're
night.
gonna win. It's gonna be a long night for you guys.
But with Carlton Davis and Levante David, let me fix my headset here, and Vita Vea, if they can get back there and make some plays, make a couple of blitzes.
But
and
and the thing is, the Buccaneers, that's what they do. They blitz.
And Devin White too. So
They blitz. So that being said, I think Amon St. Brown might have actually a big game. It's going to be him or Josh Reynolds. One of those wide receivers are going to have a big game.
they could, but then again, Detroit, they are known for crapping a bed.
Hey,
And you know what?
They got the king of Detroit playing quarterback for
They got
them.
the king of Detroit. And you see that thing? They were like, the Detroit fans are saying, we went to Jared. They went to Jared's. They went to Jared's.
They got the king of Detroit.
They got the king of Detroit. So,
And they got a double-headed monster in the backfield.
no, that team is an animal. But if they beat Tampa, which is very likely, I hope they win the Super Bowl. I said it. Hope they win it.
We could easily get a NFC North conference championship.
Good. And all the people that talked all that crap about the NFC North being terrible, sit down. Okay.
I mean, we could easily get a Green Bay versus Detroit.
We could. But, okay, let's go to the next one. AFC. Houston, Baltimore on 3. 1, 2, 3. Baltimore.
I can't.
You gotta say, of course, you're going to see the Texans because CJ Stroud's from Ohio State.
I know, but it's one of those type of things.
What year did you play there? I'm just kidding.
I played in 2011.
I'm just kidding.
2016, I was the backup punter.
Oh, hey, paid for that education.
Oh yeah, sure did.
Didn't have no NIL deal back then.
Oh no, we had not even Uber. I don't know. I worked at Subway.
Yeah, we're at Subway, make those sandwiches. Eat fresh. All right, so
But
okay, so you're taking Houston.
I don't know if I don't know about that one.
Taking Baltimore. You got picked.
I want to see.
Count down. Tell me now. 10, 9, 8, 7. Come on, tell me. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Houston. Okay, I'm going Houston.
All right.
If you're going Baltimore, I'll go Houston.
All right.
But I really want to see Lamar take that next step.
Me too. He's already earned the league MVP, in my opinion. So
we have the league's MVP versus the league's offensive rookie player of the year going against each other.
that's gonna be awesome. All right, so let's go over back to the NFC, and we have 49ers,
Packers, 49ers.
Packers. You know what? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Packers.
And I don't even like the Packers, but I just got this weird feeling inside that they're playing so good of football right now. When a team just starts moving and can't be, they might take it out there in San Fran.
They might.
I'm rolling Pack.
I'm looking at the tickets for each game. You know what the most expensive ticket is for?
You trying to go to that Packer game?
Oh God, no!
They're trying to fly out there and go to that.
I'm not trying to go to one's 49 out there to San Fran.
I never did try to take what?
For the lowest cost, the most expensive ticket is for Detroit, $502.
Whoa. Whoa, and they're out there probably selling drugs. No, I'm just kidding. No. they're trying to working that overtime, trying to get that ticket to go to that game. Man, God, yeah, I think Packers going to take that game. There's definitely a lot of money to be made. Are any of these at Peacock exclusive? I hope not.
No, I have ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus for the Texans and Ravens. I have Packers and 49ers on Fox. I have...
Wait, that Ravens-Texan game is only on ESPN Plus?
No, on ABC too.
Oh, okay, I was like, get rid of the exclusive stuff for this stuff. We don't need all that stuff.
No, then you have Buccaneers versus Lions on NBC, and then Chiefs versus Bills on CBS. So if you guys want to watch, those are the channels that are going to be on. Hopefully you guys have them. And if not, Godspeed.
There's always a way to find stuff. There is. There's always a way. But I just think this exclusive stuff is just getting ridiculous. Like, people want to watch the game. Okay. People love football, clearly. But it's getting too greedy when you got to, we're going to take it off TV and we're going to put it on Peacock or put it on ESPN Plus only. These exclusive rights, we all want to watch the game.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole different topic. But
we just want to drink beer, eat good food, and watch the games.
That's all I want to do. I want to drink, eat some good food, and watch the games. And then go to bed with a victory, hopefully. Tampa Bay. But I'm torn between this because I love Tampa Bay, but I also do want to see Detroit win. So I don't know. I was like, God, it's tough.
You know if they win, right? You know who's coming out of retirement, right?
Oh.
2 people. If Detroit wins. Megatron and Barry Sanders.
Get him a ring. Put it on there. Sign him on. They can run route at the end. They can suit up at the end if they have the lead. Take the knee.
Oh, well, looks like we have time is running out here.
All right, guys, look, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Working Man Sports Talk podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Want to hear from you, and you'll hear from us soon. Peace.